It is no surprise that big changes were coming to Arc Raiders. 2 weeks of radio silence after their first roadmap and its last update. No information about anything, no update in sight, and no clear direction for the future. We just had to wait. And finally, it is here. So let us talk through it.
Thank you for the intro, John. And after 2 weeks of radio silence from Embark's side, we finally have a dev blog released yesterday talking about the next direction for Arc Raiders. So let's go through that together. Hi Raiders, Arc Raiders has grown far beyond anything we imagined at launch, and every day we see players, continues right. With that in mind, we want to talk about our update cadence moving forward. We're changing how we update the game. Alright, so it's gonna update even less, I presume. When Arc Raiders launched, we planned to offer monthly updates. The intention was to keep you all engaged, to ensure the game always felt fresh and give you reasons to keep braving topside. But once the game was in players' hands, we saw that kind of long-term experience we want to create for Arc Raiders requires more transformative updates they want to create. Alright. Over time, we found that the pressure of a monthly cycle limits how impactful these updates can be. You feel it and we feel it too. Running at that pace isn't sustainable or compatible with the bigger ambitions we have for this game. Alright, one big issue I have with this statement right here. Bigger ambitions? What are those? What is the information for us from this statement from the development team towards the players? Because also when it comes to planning for the long and short-term plans, this is great statement when you already have some data, you're creating a data-driven decisions, you have some information, you have some goals where the future lies. But as of today, I'm not really sure we as players understand what is the future of the game. What are these bigger ambitions? Should I understand this, that everything that they did until now was sort of like just slop and they're not really happy about what they did and none of it was compatible with their bigger ambitions? And I don't think we have much time when it comes to bigger ambitions, because like the game has been out for half a year now, and do we have time for bigger ambitions now? We saw what Embark can release, what they can do within the monthly updates. Then what is the direction? If none of this was really worth it, as they say that they felt pressured and the updates were not impactful, then what were we doing for the last half a year? Anyway, let's continue and let's see what else they have to say. Frozen Trail, our biggest update yet. Our next major update lands in October, right? So that's half a year from now. And it's the largest we've released since launch. This isn't just about volume, it's designed to address the broader questions the community has been asking. Here's a taste of what's coming. Sprawling new frontier. Alright, so that's gonna be a new map. Layered design and new mysteries to uncover in the largest map in the game. Alright, easy. New map with layered design, new mysteries to uncover. We already talked about the leaks, very interesting points of interest in the new map, so let's see what they can cook. New maps are always a great way how to bring back players in the game, so pretty much we will have to see. Then we're getting our most ambitious Arc operation so far, including new Arc enemies with fresh designs and unique behaviors that will challenge Raiders in new ways. So this is an interesting one, and I really hope they will deliver on this one, especially the new Arc enemies with fresh designs, simply because previously what we saw were basically just reworked arcs. For example, the Firefly was just Fireball, but it was a flying one, just like they took Wasp or the Hornet and they basically put the Flamethrower on them with the unique behaviors that will challenge Raiders in a new ways. So this is also interesting, and I think they could build more on like the artificial intelligence or on the behavior of the arcs, because simply right now the behavior is kind of like predictable and the arcs are not really doing anything interesting in the game. They're just there, they're just walking back and forth. That's pretty much it. You know, it doesn't really add anything to the game other than them being the objects that you have to destroy. So let's see. New systems of progression. Many players have maxed out their Raider Den and hit the skill point ceiling. Yes, 3 times in a row now. Frozen Trail will introduce new goals and more ways to shape your Raider's progression. Okay, This is something that I've been talking about in my previous videos, and I believe the progression is completely broken. Every time the new update landed, everything was available on day one, especially starting from the Hurricane update and then the close scrutiny. The problem was that you didn't really need anything on top of what was already given in the game. So all you would have to do was to lock in the Hurricane, go open some boxes, and all the blueprints, all the progression was there. Day one, you had all the blueprints. Day one, you had all the new weapons. Day one, you already knew how everything worked. Nothing was locked behind the quests. Nothing was locked behind some actual challenge. With the close scrutiny, all they did was introduce new enemies and introduce new mechanics. But all you had to do was to bring one smoke grenade, and that to me was crazy, that all you had to do was just to abuse the system. With one single smoke grenade you could get everything out of the game, the Dolabra blueprint, and then if you wanted the Kanto, the new SMG, you just had to go into Hurricane and again open the box. No progression, nothing, so hopefully this will shift. And I still understand the casual players that have just few hours a week to play the game, but again, this system could bring something new to the game, where instead of seeing the decline of players simply because they worked on a huge update like close scrutiny or even the Riven Tides, and they said Riven Tides was the biggest update yet, all they did was introduce a new map, new enemies, but you could just load in first day, try the new enemy, try the new challenges, do them, and then leave the game again, because there was nothing else to do, you know, on the same day of the release of the update. So hopefully the new progression will be in place. For example, a new weapon would mean you would need to do certain quests, destroy certain amount of enemies, get the requirements, and then be able to craft the weapon. And I hope the new weapons will come in a system where it takes maybe a week to build the blueprint. That would be really interesting. That would give something the players to work on, you know. Exploring the origin of Ark. Oh, so this is the lore update. What are Ark and where do they come from? Exactly, my question. Frozen Trail gives raiders the opportunity to begin uncovering the mystery. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, this is perfect. Then we're getting improved skill tree, which is perfect simply because the skill tree is just completely random for me. There were plenty of YouTube videos and I was planning to do some videos myself, but then I figured like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here in front of the screen and test all different perks alongside like my second account to see what improves and what doesn't. And that really shows that players are basically looking for answers online, whether their skills are worth it, and they don't feel like, okay, if I improve these 5 skills, I'm gonna actually perform better in the fight. Of course, there are some skills which are pretty good, like vaulting faster or sprinting faster, but overall the improvement is not that crazy. For me, the best skill there is opening the security breaches, and that speaks for itself, you know. Like, I just want to invest in that one specific skill because I simply want to loot more. But again, does the change of like running a little bit faster really mirror what the skill tree can do? I don't think so, you know. Alongside new weapons, items, instruments, cosmetics, and more. Yeah, definitely, but please fix the progression system, because none of it adds any value if it isn't rewarding for even the casual players. It's important to understand we're not just stacking new content on top of the existing experience. Okay, interesting. We're refining core systems to support a more meaningful long-term experience, one you genuinely want to keep returning to. Frozen Trail is just the beginning of where we want to take Ark Raiders, and we'll share more in the coming months. Again, I talked about this right here, about the bigger ambitions, and then again another statement in the coming months. I don't know if Embark has time to really drag back the players that they already lost and keep the players that are playing right now busy with these statements, but let's see. Last but not least, starting next week, a new trader. Next week we're introducing a fresh mechanic designed for late game players, a new trader from a nomadic tribe of surface dwellers. Many of you have invested a lot in the game, and there's few common problems that we keep hearing about. You're holding a lot of high value items with no way of offload them into rewarding ways. Your stash is filling up with the game's new items. We haven't increased the capacity yet. Very few of you are going on the expedition, either because it is not rewarding enough or because it is too painful to part with your favorite items and blueprints. Okay, interesting statement that they are saying that not a lot of people are doing the expedition. The new trader unlocks at level 25 and he offers unique rewards, rare items and cosmetics in exchange for your high value items. He will take items off your hands in return for those weekly rotating rewards, but he may sometimes ask you to go and find specific rare items to trade. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe some new rotating quests and maybe some more interesting tasks in the game. The new trader also offers 2 perks in exchange for high value items. Extra stash space to help you increase your capacity, okay. The expedition vault. This allows you to carry over up to 5 items across the expedition, so you can set your new raider up with your favorite items or blueprints. Alright, interesting. This is just one part of a broader set of improvements arriving later this year. Overall thoughts, pretty good investment in the next game update. This is interesting, surface dwellers. I want to see more of lore regarding the surface dwellers, so if there's people that are living outside of Speranza, let me know what they do on surface, what is their life like. This is interesting, could be a new faction, I don't know, let's see. Then about the trading, the tasks, also interesting. I think this is gonna be a new interesting mechanic in the game, which a lot of players will use moving forward. So let's see who's the new trader, how it works, what are the rewards, and hopefully they are worth it. Some of the last information in the dev blog is that they are basically building for the long term. All of this information is just, I would say, everything summed up. They want to move the progression, and they want to change the player goals, and they want to experiment more with the entire system, where basically it keeps evolving alongside the game. Whatever this means, everything here is really important moving forward. I already talked about the progression. I think it's one of the core pain points of the game right now, simply because people don't have much to return to. Everything is unlocked on day one, and I think changing this system is really important right now. One more thing they talk about here is trials. So they want to keep trials to remain reliably fun to engage with. Also, they promised this last time that they're gonna change the trials, and we had to open kitchen cabinets in the last trial. So come on guys, I think we can do better in a game like Arc Raiders. So this paragraph feels pretty much like a filler, so let's see. Bigger picture, yep, again, they're introducing their Embark brain, where they want to implement more of their ambitions. They want to go far beyond what players have seen so far. They want to go further in showing you the wider universe of Arc Raiders. I'm not entirely sold on all of this text. Tell me what it is. Just tell me what we want, what we can expect, you know. This is an experience that should continue expanding over time, and right now we're still early in the journey. The biannual cadence gives us the opportunity to develop, to build the future updates. Okay, yeah, I understand. From like the perspective of monthly updates, there's a lot of pressure. But again, don't forget that Arc Raiders sold 12 or 13 million copies right now, so investing into development is not a bad idea, you know. I don't know whether this is a proper wording, a proper statement towards the players, that we felt too pressured. In the end, this was the direction you guys chose, so I don't know. Okay, Raiders are facing escalating arc threat, and the society in Speranza may feel helpless against it. I wouldn't say so. You just take Jupiters and completely obliterate the entire lobby. We need bigger challenges. I'm looking forward for fighting 5 queens at the same time. Raiders aren't built to stay on the back foot. The goal has always been bigger than survival. It's about one day reclaiming the surface. Perfect, yeah, let's do more of the lore. Let's reclaim the surface, give us some live service in the game. Alright. Frozen Trail will start to progress this goal and expose elements of this challenge, but it is really just the beginning. Okay, we aim to constantly shift the paradigm that Arc Raiders operate under, so you feel the effects of your actions and presence against Arc. Alright, thank you Raiders. The Rust Belt is nothing without Raiders who fill it with life every single day. We understand that this change won't please everyone and that it might be frustrating not to get updates as frequently, but we truly believe this will be worth it. Thank you for continuing to push us to create the best game we can. As always, we'll see you topside. Executive Producer Alexander. Alright, listen guys. I am completely okay with whatever you guys are saying here. I'm completely okay with not receiving the update next month. Simply because if another update was similar to Close Scrutiny or Riven Tides, it would close the game completely. And it would just spiral to no players whatsoever in half a year. So, take your time. I believe in you guys. Please cook something interesting so that when players come revisit the game in October, they can stay, they can enjoy different aspects of the game. Please change the progression, please add the lore, make AI enemies interesting to fight. Don't make them just roam the planet, don't just make them to walk around infinitely. Make them truly difficult, make the enemies annoying to fight. And that might actually push out also the PvP versus PvE perspective, where even the PvP players would have to shift towards like more collaboration. I'm really looking forward for this. As they said, they understand that this change won't please everyone, and there's already a lot of people on Reddit complaining, on X, on socials saying that this is not good, we have to wait. But I would rather wait for 5-6 months from now and be happy with players coming back to the game than just getting some random release next month with a new condition. What would even the new condition be? Like Acid Rain that they're planning for October. Alright, if they released it next month, it's not a new addition, it's nothing new, it's just another condition to be careful about, you know. So let's see. And with all of these Raiders, let me know in the comments what you think about these changes. I hope you guys enjoy my voice as well. This has been very challenging for me simply because everything else works fine. Now I just need to work with my voice, which is a huge challenge for me. But yep, here we are, stepping outside of the comfort zone. So if you stayed with me all the way until now, please consider subscribing. And I will see you in the next one. John Raider, out.